Well, here's one for you at home this morning. Would you rather be munching on bacon for breakfast instead of your usual wheat bix or oats? Well, it's encouraged on the keto diet, and creators promise the diet will help you lose weight. But some experts say it's extreme and unsustainable. To explain the eating plan, let's bring in dietitian Nick Nation. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Lou. How are you?
Very well. So this is basically a low-carb, high-fat diet. Exactly what can you eat?
Not a whole lot. A typical day basically includes things like bacon and eggs for breakfast with a bulletproof coffee. Now, if you're not sure what that is, it's a blend of caffeine, of course, with coconut oil, MCT oil, which is like a fatty oil, and butter, of all things. Then a lunch will be a whole lot of fatty meat with heaps and heaps of low-carb veggies, and dinner looks something the same.
Okay, so how does it actually work? How is it all broken down?
Well, first and foremost, it's calorie restriction, like any diet, really. So essentially, you're forced outright to drop any kind of junk food, any type of processed food. Secondly, you lose a lot of water when you go on this diet because of the sheer restriction of carbohydrates. So it's not actually fat that you're losing, it's more fluid that you're losing. And then thirdly, you go into a state of ketosis where the body actually switches to using fat as its primary energy source, which is supposed to lead to greater fat burning capacity.
Okay, we're all pretty busy and diets like these can sometimes be pretty hard to stick to. How would you manage it during the working week? Is it actually possible?
I suppose it really all depends on the individual. It is extremely hard, and the dropout rate for the average person, even with a medical condition to motivate them, is around about 1 to 2 months, which is pretty hefty. Now, obviously, like any well-planned diet, preparing early on, potentially on a Sunday, maybe in the evenings, always knowing what you're going to do so you don't leave yourself to the elements of the big bad world of Perth.
I know, which is unfortunately what I do every day. Are there any side effects with something like this? Obviously, it's quite extreme. Are there things people should be careful of if they want to give it a go? Yeah,
definitely. I would first and foremost get a blood test. I would seek medical advice or nutritional advice, and I'd want to get a baseline. Essentially, if you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to lower blood pressure or you're trying to reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes, seek your advice from your medical professional. But some of the side effects include, particularly in the beginning, dizziness, brain fog, even insomnia. So it can be quite serious. That usually lasts for around about 4 weeks, up to 4 weeks. It's called ketogenic fog. And basically, with that fog, you wouldn't want to be doing anything really important, like like a high-powered meeting or competing in some kind of sporting event.
Okay.
Then you've got things like bad breath, which has obvious connotations. But for me, it's around gut health and nutritional adequacy. So when you go on a ketogenic diet, you're actually not able to get a variety of different fibres that your little bugs in your gut actually require to convey all those amazing health benefits that we hear about in the media all the time.
Okay. We'll have to stop you there. There's so much we can talk about when it comes to these of diets. It'll be interesting to see how long this one stays popular. It sounds pretty complicated. Nick, as always, thanks for your insight this morning.
Thank you, Lou.